Hello, I'm Charulata Biswas. Welcome to the Indian Express and to our special segment where we will be talking about the upcoming Lok Sabha elections in Varanasi. And with me today is Asad Rahman, who is our reporter from the National Bureau of the Indian Express. Asad, welcome to this video.
Thank you.
Let's talk about Varanasi and tell me how has the nomination process been like so far?
So, the nomination process for Varanasi Lok Sabha election, it started in May. On May 14 was the main day for filing of nominations, and Prime Minister Narendra Modi also filed his nomination, and that was widely covered in the media. And there were a total of 41 candidates who filed their nomination papers from Varanasi to contest against Prime Minister Narendra Modi. But eventually, there are now only 6 candidates who are contesting the election and who will go against Prime Minister Narendra Modi on June 1.
Okay.
The other nomination of 35 candidates were cancelled or either withdrawn. One of them was withdrawn, and while others were rejected on several grounds. Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember this independent candidate, Shyam Rangila. He also came to the limelight because he did number of videos about why his nomination was cancelled, and he spoke about there was something with his affidavit wherein he had to take oath, which is a prerequisite of the nomination process. So, have you seen that kind of trend when the applications are rejected? I mean, how crucial is it?
So, Mr. Shyam Rangila has alleged that his nomination was delayed by the administration and the election officials in Varanasi.
Right.
He did several videos from outside the election office in Varanasi, and he alleged that they were not given forms on time and that they were kept waiting in the heat for long durations in the day. And then finally, when he got the forms and he submitted them, he came out of the election office in a very celebratory mood and told the media present there. I was there that day, and he told us that his papers have been accepted and that now they will go through scrutiny the next day. Then the next day, he put out a video saying that his papers were rejected. His nomination was rejected by the election officials in Varanasi. And he alleged that the officials did not tell him that he was supposed to take oath, and that since he's a first time contestant in an election,
Right.
he did not know about the process. So his claim was that the administration and the election officials in Varanasi should have told him about it, while the election
Right.
office in Varanasi, the returning officer, which is District Magistrate Varanasi, Mr. S. Rajalingam, he put out a social media post saying that the process was very transparent and that there was no issue with it, and that whatever happened in the presence of Mr. Shyam Rangila. So these are the claim. This is the claim and the counter claim. And after that, after his cancellation and several other cancellations, 35 people tried to contest the elections against Prime Minister Narendra Modi, but only 6 are going to contest against him on June 1, which is the final phase of polling for the Lok Sabha elections. And just 3 days after the election in Varanasi and the last phase, we'll know the results.
Interesting. Asad, let's talk about the 6 candidates. We are down to 2 independent candidates among all the 6, and we have Ajay Rai from Congress. And can you talk to me at length about who are these candidates and a little bit of background about each one of them?
So Mr. Ajay Rai is a prominent Bhumiyar leader in Eastern UP. He has been associated with Varanasi for decades. He's a 5-time member of the Legislative Assembly in Uttar Pradesh. He has held the post for two different assembly constituencies in Varanasi, and he's also the Congress UP Congress president. And Mr. Rai has a strongman type image in Varanasi and Eastern UP, and he was appointed the Congress state president last year. He's contested the Varanasi Lok Sabha election thrice, and
Okay.
all three times he's come third. In 2009, he came third when Mr. Murli Manohar Joshi of the BJP won that election. Then in 2014, when Prime Minister Narendra Modi made his debut from Varanasi in the Lok Sabha elections, which was the first time that he was shown as the Prime Minister face for the country. Then too, Ajay Rai was in the fight. He came third again with Mr. Arvind Kejriwal, who's the Chief Minister now of Delhi. Uh, he came second in the 2014 election. Then in the 2019 elections as well, Ajay Rai was against Mr. Modi, and Mr. Rai came third, and this is his fourth election from the Varanasi Lok Sabha constituency. So he is by far the most formidable challenge to Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Even though Varanasi has been dominated by the BJP since the 90s, they won the seat all the time except for 2004 when the Congress won it once. So Ajay Rai is the main person who is going to challenge the Prime Minister, and seeing how things are shaping up with multiple roadshows of opposition top leaders. Priyanka Gandhi was there in Varanasi a few days ago with Dimple Yadav, who's Akhilesh Yadav's wife, and today too, Rahul Gandhi and Akhilesh Yadav are going to be in Varanasi for a public meeting. So there are multiple. The opposition is also going very hard at the seat, and they don't want to give an easy fight to Prime Minister Narendra Modi, even though the seat is dominated by upper caste communities, and there is the possibility of the Prime Minister winning with huge margin. And which on the ground, since I traveled to Varanasi, also on the ground it seems like it's a given, because the people, they like the Prime Minister, and he has a huge fan following, you can say, or support in Varanasi. And the discussion that I heard among residents of Varanasi was that how many votes are they going to make Mr. Modi win by? So it was more about the margin rather than whether he will win or not. That's not a question in Varanasi, but about the margin. Then the second challenger to the Prime Minister is Athar Jamal Lahiri. He's been with the BSP for a while, for decades. He's an old time leader. He's been involved in multiple movements. He's contested multiple elections from Varanasi, and he's never won an election, but he is a seasoned leader in Varanasi. He also owns a handloom, which and claims himself to be a bunkar, which is the artisan which weaves cloth in Varanasi. So
He's based in Varanasi,
yeah,
right?
yeah, he is.
Okay.
And so he's the second challenger to the Prime Minister. And with the BSP being on the sidelines in this election, he's not, I wouldn't say that he's a great challenger to the Prime Minister, but he's definitely there in the fray, and the BSP's core vote is probably going to go to Mr. Lahiri, and let's see how the election pans out. Then the third person who is contesting against Prime Minister Narendra Modi is Kolisetti Shiva Kumar of the Yuga Thulasi party, and he is a resident of Hyderabad. He's come down to Varanasi to fight the election against the Prime Minister on the
That
issue.
actually, stood out for me. Was he related to YSR CP at any point in time?
Not that we know of, but
Yeah.
he claims that he's the trust member of temples in Hyderabad, and he is contesting the election on the issue of cow protection. So he runs goshalas in Hyderabad, and his goshalas take care of around 1,500 cows. And his main plank for this election, or the main issue for this election, is that the cow should be declared as the national animal of the country. So
Okay.
Mr. Kumar is
How is that working for him? Have you seen like his campaigns?
I mean, actually, he's not being able to campaign, is what he's told me,
Okay.
because he's been booked in a case in Varanasi just during the
Oh,
process of the
all right.
nomination,
Oh.
where a woman has given a complaint to the local police station, the Bhelupur police station in Varanasi, alleging that Mr. Kumar defrauded her. And
Okay.
so his claim is that he is fearing arrest when he reaches Varanasi, so he's not being able to campaign personally. But
Okay.
his party people who have reached Varanasi on his behalf are doing some small campaign programs. And his main issue for the election is the cow protection and declaration of cow as the national animal of the country. So this is the third person in the fight. Then there is Gagan Prakash Yadav, who is representing Apna Dal Kameravadi, which is a regional party in Uttar Pradesh and is headed by far, former a very tall Kurmi leader in UP, in eastern UP. Pallavi Patel is the daughter of Sonelal Patel, who founded the Apna Dal. Then the Apna
Correct.
Dal has now divided itself into two factions, and Pallavi Patel heads one of them. She was till recently she was with the Samajwadi Party, but now she is gone. She's left the Samajwadi Party alliance and has fielded a candidate from Varanasi.
She's also joined hands with Owaisi.
Yes, yes.
AIMIM, right?
Yeah, AIMIM is part of an alliance which they call the PDM, which is the Pichhada Dalit Muslim Alliance, and uh, AIMIM is also part of that alliance, and Mr. Owaisi is also supporting this candidate, and Gagan
But the
Prakash
party that he's contesting, the ticket that he's on is Apna Dal
Kameravadi.
Kameravadi.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a different party altogether.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So that he's the third person in the fight, and let's see how he does. It's too early to say, but his campaign is not very visible on the ground, so he's another contestant. Then
Okay.
there is Dinesh Kumar Yadav, who's an independent candidate this time. He claims that he's a corporator and has been a BJP leader for more than 15 years, and that now under the democratic principles, he has filed his nomination papers against Prime Minister Narendra Modi. But the BJP leadership in Varanasi denied that he was part of their national party or has any association with the BJP. So he's not part of their party, is what they are saying, and he's saying that after he has filed his nomination, the BJP has not really
Dissociated
disassociate
themselves.
and distanced themselves from him. And then the final candidate is Sanjay Kumar Tiwari. Is also an independent, and he is contesting the election on several issues. And he says that he's a big critic of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and democracy gives him the right to contest elections against anybody. So he's picked Varanasi to contest against Prime Minister Narendra Modi. He also claims that he's a social media activist and writes on social issues on social media.
Okay, interesting. Asad, at one point you talked about the voter base in Varanasi, which is predominantly upper caste Hindus, and that includes Brahmins, Bhumiyars, Jaiswals, and Muslims and OBCs. Now, looking at this diverse demographic, how likely is it going to impact the outcome in Varanasi? What's your take?
No, I think there is the
Because in the electoral fray, Ajay Rai is the only strong candidate I see, out of all the six who is going against Narendra Modi. So,
But if you look at UP, I
yeah.
think most of the seats are seeing two-way fights. Not just Varanasi, of course. Here, it's there are two main contenders, and then there are others. But if you look at Uttar Pradesh, the fight is between the Samajwadi Party and the India Alliance candidates across the state.
Okay.
So on most of the seats, it's a head-on fight between two candidates, and in Varanasi also that's the case. And even Mr. Rai is a strong candidate against Mr. Modi, but seeing how he has performed in the last three elections, the hopes and chances of him denting the BJP's vote share in Varanasi look very bleak. So let's see how the election pans out. The opposition is throwing everything in. Their top leaders are visiting Varanasi. The entire UP Congress leadership has reached Varanasi. They're all staying there and working day and night these days, and their campaign has been quite rigorous so far. And
Even on nomination day, Modi had like the top stalwarts from the BJP, on the nomination day, and that was like I think he also walked like couple of meters with them, like the entire Modi ka parivar in his support. That gives a lot of like, it's just a spectacle. Do you think, or
it's a show of strength. It's a
yeah,
show of strength, and of course, if the prime minister is filing his nominations from Varanasi, the BJP leadership has to be there. Mr. Amit Shah, Home Minister Amit Shah was there. Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath was there, and there were all most of the BJP CMs were there, and all the top leaders of the party, Mr. JP Nadda and UP Congress top leaders were there. And it was a show of strength. A day before he filed his nomination, Prime Minister Modi also held a roadshow in Varanasi, and the city was packed with people, and everybody was on the streets wanting to get a glimpse of the Prime Minister and see him.
right.
So it should be a comfortable win for the Prime Minister. He's won from there twice, and he's the top leader in India right now by far. So let's see how many votes he wins by, and if there is any challenge from the opposition.
So, will it be a cakewalk for Prime Minister Narendra Modi in Varanasi or not? We will get to know when the results are out. Thank you so much, Asad, for
Thank you.
joining us. And thank you, viewers. Don't forget to go and vote on June 1st. And if you are from Varanasi or elsewhere, if you are supposed to vote, go and vote. Thank you so much for joining us. If you like this video, like and subscribe to our channel, Indian Express. Thank you so much for watching.